The content of this video is coming from the ultimate Jim Rohn Library. It's something I came across through Audible. It's a compilation of a variety of different lessons that Jim Rohn has shared throughout the years. And one chapter in particular that stood out to me was his goals workshop. And real quick, before we continue this video, if you'll be so kind as to hit the notification bell and the subscribe button, it'll be greatly appreciated. So on to the Jim Rohn Goals Workshop. This goals workshop contains a lot of interaction, where it requires you to grab a pen and paper and to jot down exactly what your goals are. Start off with some appreciation for what you've already accomplished. Write down 5 things that you have already accomplished that you're proud of. Now, once you establish some things that you're proud of, the next step is to establish what do you want in the next 10 years. Make a list of 50 different items. They could be material things, they could be business things, they could be relationship things, anything you want. Write down 50 goals that you want to see achieved in your life within the next 10 years. So literally, pause this video. When I was listening to the Jim Rohn workshop, he literally says to pause the program and write down the goals. So pause this video, make it interactive, and jot down what 50 things you want to accomplish in the next 10 years. Once you have your list of 50 plus goals that you want to achieve, the next step is to number all of them. The number you're going to put next to them is the year that you want to see it achieved. So if you want it to be achieved in 1 year, write a 1. If you want it to be achieved in 5 years, write a 5. So go through and number each one of your goals right now. Some of them I wrote down as all, because there are some goals that were on my list that not only do I want to accomplish within the next 10 years, it's something that I want to maintain. It's something that I want to accomplish every single year. Like health, quality time with family, etc. Throughout this workshop, Jim Rohn would occasionally say some things that were very inspirational. So as I'm going through my notes, I'll just say some of the things that I jotted down that he mentioned. When you've accomplished some of your goals, you need more to accomplish. It's very important to celebrate a significant, important goal for you. Once you reach your goals, that should not be the end. After reaching your goals, create another list. One question you may ask yourself is, how far should you go? And the answer is, as far as you can. How many books should you read? As many as you can. How much money should you make? As much as you can. How much should you contribute? As much as you can. How much should you love? As much as you can. Here's another question. What should you try to be? The answer? All that you possibly can. Imagine if you can get everything that you wanted in your life. What would it look like? Make a goal to become a millionaire, not for the money, but for what it would make of you to achieve it. Now the next thing to do is to go on your list of 50 plus goals and separate all of the 1-year goals that you want to achieve. Make a list of which of the 4 are most important to you. Once you have those 4 most important 1-year goals written down, you have to establish the why. Why are those 4 goals important to you? Write it down right below them. When the why gets stronger, the how gets easier. Think about that. What is your why for each goal? The why will overcome the how. The procrastination, the sleeping in, etc. Be ambitious. Be astonishing for others. Self-satisfaction is the greatest recognition. If you want things in your life to become better, you need to become better. What kind of a person must you become to achieve all that you want? What are the things in your life that you need to cut out in order to achieve your goals? And write them down, because when you write it down and you can see it, it helps you understand and become more self-aware of the flaws that you have within you. When you write it down, you get to recognize the things that you need to cut out of your life. Sometimes in order to achieve things and to become better, it's not by adding more things into your life, but it's about subtracting some of the things that are not valuable in your life. Jim Rohn talks about a type of personal development virus that a lot of people become infected with. And that virus is known as doing a little less than you could. Don't make that mistake. Instead of doing a little less than you could, always strive to do a little more than you could. Have you ever heard of the definition of luck described as this? Luck is when preparation meets opportunity. Are you ready to take that opportunity that gets presented to you and make something out of it? Next, Jim Rohn talks about how to overcome procrastination. One thing that we have to do is to avoid using a negative view of the future as a tool to overcome inactivity. Sometimes we think of, oh, what's going to happen if we don't do this? And we can imagine ourselves, being lazy and procrastinating, and we try to use that as fuel to take action. But Jim Rohn says not to do that. It's almost like the law of attraction. Whatever you think about, you bring about. So if you're trying to think about, all the negative outcomes to motivate you, that can actually attract that negativity. So instead, do these two principles to defeat passivity and procrastination. Number 1, break it down. Break down the task into manageable pieces. Complete each piece one at a time. Focus on the immediate task at hand. Look at a task. If it's not manageable, break it down so it is manageable. Number 2, write it down. Every day, have a to-do list as well as a not to-do list. Having all these goals written down could be very motivating, but as time goes on, people can become fatigued. They could become exhausted. So how do you keep going? How do you persevere when adversity comes at you? Because life will inevitably throw adversity at us. Now, adversity is not a bad thing. Adversity makes us stronger. It makes us wiser. So the way to keep going goes back to what we said earlier in this workshop. Establish your why. Establish your purpose. Because if you have a strong enough purpose, if you have a strong enough why, you will be able to defeat any of the hows or any of the adversity that you face while achieving your goals. So there you guys have the Jim Rohn Goals Workshop, which came from the Ultimate Jim Rohn Library, which is only available on Audible. So if you want to get a copy for this yourself, I'll put a link for it in the description below. I highly recommend it. Jim Rohn was the mentor of Tony Robbins. He has so much wisdom, and he is very entertaining with the way that he speaks and addresses his content. I enjoy all the material that he's put out there, and I recommend you guys check it out as well. Comment below what you thought about this workshop and what are some of the goals that you would like to accomplish within the next year. My name is Matthew, aka TridentLion, and until the next video, remember, always be learning, always be creating, and always be inspired.